Welcome back to Roll for Coffee, where we let the dice and our little chip friend decide our coffee. First up, we gotta decide if it's gonna be hot or iced today. Going iced. Nice. Since it's iced, we're gonna be making these in mason jars today. Next up, we gotta see our coffee style. 3, blended. I brought out the blender to blend this up. We'll be using a blender cup to get everything situated. Gonna start off with a good handful of ice. That should be pretty good. Next up, let's see what kind of brewing method we're gonna be making today. Coffee is gonna be actually matcha. So it looks like we're making a matcha frappuccino. Today we're gonna be using everyday matcha, 100% Japanese green tea powder. Since I'm blending this up, the matcha is just going right in here. We're gonna be doing about 2 teaspoons. Moving right along, let's figure out what kind of milk we're using today. 4, we're gonna be using almond milk. The almond milk is going to be Kirkland, original unsweetened non-dairy beverage. We'll be adding a healthy amount of our almond milk. Make sure everything's nice and incorporated. There are a few flavors that will work really well with matcha, and I'm kind of excited about it, but let's see what we get. 4, peanut butter. All right, that sounds actually pretty interesting. We're gonna be using Jif creamy peanut butter to really bring this whole drink together. My wife and I absolutely love peanut butter, so I'm doing a healthy scoop of our peanut butter into this, and then a little bit for me. All right, let's see how interesting it's gonna be today with our 2 wild magic. We get a liquid IV, and we get an extra flavor roll. The Liquid IV is a new addition to Roll for Coffee, so we have our sugar-free hydration multiplier. This is the lemon lime. All right, next up, that Liquid IV. So it is a powder, and I am not adding the entire thing because that would ruin this, and I want it to be mildly good. I'm a little scared for this extra flavor roll, but let's see what happens. 7, caramel sauce. Okay, I think we can make that work. Could not be a Roll for Coffee without a beautiful Torani Pure Made sauce. Caramel. And then the last thing going in here is our caramel sauce. Now let's get on the lid and let's blend it up. And lastly, let's figure out how we're topping this matcha monstrosity. 3, we're gonna top it with honey. That I can do. That topping is gonna be Kirkland Organic Raw honey. In my opinion, one of the best honeys. Here is our green monstrosity. Good old peanut butter caramel matcha frap. Look at that. Beautifully green. All it needs now is the topping of honey. And we're ready to taste it. This kind of looks, it smells like peanut butter. It's got caramel in it. I think we're gonna call this a matcha payday frap. It just seems like what it is. Getting a lot of peanut butter and a lot of green from the matcha. So let's try it. A lot of peanut butter. Wow, I can really taste the honey. It all sinks right to the bottom. Actually not horrible. The honey is probably the saving grace in this drink. It sweetens everything up. I really like matcha, so that's kind of my bias. If you don't like matcha, you're really not gonna like this. The peanut butter is very faint. I think it just kind of mellows everything out. It does have a savoriness to it, so I get that. I'm really not getting the Liquid IV at all. I feel like it's just kind of lost. So that lemon lime citrus aspect is just gone. But that honey and the peanut butter really come through. I do get a little bit of the caramel at the very end. And it's such a savory version of the caramel. It's all the butteriness down the throat. And truthfully, this is probably, I like this better than the Starbucks matcha frappuccino. I'm gonna throw some shade. It's definitely decent. It tastes a lot like peanut butter, and if you want to describe matcha, it tastes kind of like green or a little bit grassy. I really like that grassy flavor. Matcha payday frappuccino. Join us next time for Roll for Coffee. If you want to check something else out, check the little orange cart below.